My name is Jasleen Kaur, I'm an artist and I created the Tala Curry Measure. Tala are a homeware brand and they've been manufacturing the original cook's measure since the 1920s in Britain. The original cook's measure helps you to measure ingredients without a scale. You measure by eye and filling up to a line, so it's measuring weight by volume rather than by mils and grams. I took their original cook's measure and hacked the design, so I changed the internals of that measure so that it cooked Indian food. I wanted it to measure the things that I grew up eating and cooking and smelling in the kitchen. And I wanted it to speak to a more embodied, intuitive way of cooking. Each column is no longer a dry ingredient, it's a dish, and all of the increments of ingredients that you need for that dish is given to you through these ruler guidelines. Before approaching the company, I was designing what the inside might look like, designing very crudely on drawing programs, printing them out, putting them inside the measure, asking friends to use them without instructions to see if it worked. The company decided that the measure would come in a tin with a supporting booklet with more information about the recipes. And so the text within that booklet was written by myself and developed back and forth with my mum and my sister. I first knew of Tala through my dad's hardware shop. I was really fixated on working with Tala because I knew that their distribution of their products meant that it would end up back in the cash and carries that my uncles and dad shop in to stock their shops.
The V&A first showed the Tala Curry Measure in the exhibition Food Bigger Than the Plate in 2019, and it was then acquired into the permanent collection, and we now have it on display in the gallery Design 1900 to now. Objects of the everyday are really great to have in the museum collection because they speak of people's lived experience. This particular object also speaks of an important moment in British and Indian history and culture. But maybe what's the most interesting about the Tala Curry Measure for me is that it demonstrates that by hacking an object and changing its use, you revive it and you open it up to a new audience of users.
I'm interested in bringing things together that don't necessarily belong together or that are unexpected. That then creates these hybrid objects, and there's something familiar but unfamiliar about it. And I think that speaks a lot to my own identity or lived experience and speaks about the journey of movement that my family and ancestors have taken and me living in Britain today.